Yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Sean786. What's good, baby? We're back with a TTMS special 114. That's right, baby. Xbox is back with another showcase. Tokyo, baby. Tokyo Drift. Let's go, killer. What's up, homies? Player. Web day, what's going on, G? We got these pieces of shits. Execs. Trying to talk that shit. We'll talk about that as well, homies. But listen to me. Let's have some fun. Let's talk that shit. You know what's up? It's TTMS, baby. Woo! Man, oh man, oh man. Shit is Bollywood Blade. You know it, bro. You know it. Hope you guys are doing good. What's up, homies? What's up, man? Hope you guys are doing good. It's been a minute. It feels like it's been a minute. I'll be honest with you. It feels like it's been a minute. We got, who do we have in the chat before we get into TTS? And we got Adidas 20. What up, player? Woo! Ultalka, what's going on, G? Crispy Rambo. The motherfucking homie Web Dave, what's going on, G? Bash Editor, what's up, player? We got Grizzly, DJ Birders, let's go POS. That's right. Young Dreads, the artist, what up, killer? Hope you well. Black Star, what's going on, player? What's up? Lord Wiz is in the chat as well. We got Why So Serious, Doggy Dog 420, The Real Calito, what up, killer? Brian B, Puma, Sal Dog, what's going on, G? We got Crispy Rambo, Big B Money, what up, homie? Sir Riffalots, what's going on, player? Leonardo, are you gonna stream the event? Which event? Tokyo? Yeah, Tokyo. I'll be streaming that shit. It'll be early for some of you guys, and normally I've been streaming for the past what? I would say 3 years now, because it be around 10, 11 a.m. for me, and for you guys, if you're in the States, between 4 and 6. Rere, what's going on, Rere? What's up, G? Shout out to Rere, Emmett Kumar, Justin Budram, I'm Mike 404. Game Pass is the best value. Talk that shit as you should, you pieces of shit. Hit that like button. We're gonna have some fun. We got some good stuff to talk about. Dustin Lambert. We ain't twerking shit. Dustin Lambert. The show has started. Don't start that shit now. We're gonna have some fun. I got some topics to talk about. Let's have some fun. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say to you POSs. But what's going on? Salt Wagon, what's going on, homie? Hope you well. Shout out to the homies in the chat. Music 72. Hope you well, man. Yeah, listen. Xbox Tokyo Game Showcase is back, baby. Hopefully, I really do believe it's gonna be better than the previous years, because of what 2 games I believe is gonna be there. At least 2 games that's gonna make one of the ponies cry, and I'm excited about one of the games. I'm hoping, which, well, the rumors are really strong. They strongly suggest it's in Tokyo, baby. It's time to go back. It's time to go fast and furious, baby. It's time to bring back Han. RX-7, baby. Or was it RX-8? I can't remember. One of them cars. Dave Rizzy's in the chat. What's going on, G? 30 below. What's up, player? Hope you well. We gotta bring him back, baby. CJ goes, forget Alex. Oh no, it's Sean. Play on player. Let's get it, killer. That's right. Yeah, RX-7, bro. That shit. Yo, do you know what's funny about the Fast and Furious? I started watching them shit again. I started from number 4. You know, when Paul Walker and after Tokyo Drift. But I started with number 4. You know, the 4, 5, 6, you know, they were dope, man. They had like a good trilogy that would have been. Then 7, 8, 9, you know, it had its moments here and there. But still, you know, good fun movies to watch. But it is what it is. Some crazy shit happens. Vin Diesel just turns into a Terminator or some shit. That's what he does in number 9, especially number 9. But I'll be honest with you, Emmett Kumar, I love the first one. Big fan. Love that shit. Second one, cool, is what it is. Tokyo Drift, kind of like Justin Lin, shout out to him, brought it back good. And then he did about what, five of them, six of them, I believe, or maybe all of them. I can't remember now. After Tokyo Drift, but I do like 4, 5, and 6. I do like them. 6 layer, what's going on, G? Hope you well. CJ, the Book of X. I'm doing good. Evening, player. Evening. But yeah, I started to binge them for some reason. When you just get into the zone, you just watch them for fun. Yeah, they were fun. Fun movies to watch. Yeah, I think Justin Lin was still in one of the late ones as well, I believe. But Justin Lin did a good job to bring that franchise back. Between that Tokyo Drift. But shout out to him. A league that what's going on, G? Hope you well. Hope you well. You know what's funny about that, Dustin Lambert? I know we're talking about this because of Tokyo stuff and all that. But the Fast Five, listen, regardless what you say about The Rock, regardless what you say about the Fast Five, how you perceive that movie, but that movie took the Fast and Furious franchise to a different level. That actually took the movie to a different level. Fast Five, which I really enjoyed. I think that's a solid Fast and Furious movie. But that movie took it to a different level. Regardless The Rock was in it or not, that movie took that shit to a different level. I'm talking about the box office, and everybody was like, "Yo, I've got to watch the next one. I've got to watch the next one." That movie did take it to a different level. Number 4 was a good, like, kind of a, I don't want to call it a soft reboot, but you know what I mean with the characters. But Fast Five took it to a different level. Tokyo Drift is awesome. It's a dope movie. I would have liked to send. I like to see a Han story anyway, but we'll see how it goes. I saw caught stealing. Caught? I got caught stealing on Monday. Seeing the long walk. Oh, yeah. Funny enough, no, I think the Smashing Machine will be a great movie, and the Long Walk. I think that's going to be a really good movie. It might be a slow burner, but shit's going to be solid. Yeah, you ain't lying about that, Dustin Lamb. But that dude was like my age as well. Fucking hell, he was about 30 something years old. Fast Five was just some next level shit. That's all I'm gonna say. And was it Jason Momoa? He was a straight up bitch. That character should never have been a bitch. That's it, personally. But it is what it is. One pint Johnny, what's going on, player? What's up, G? You know what's funny? I was watching Weapons. I'm on the third act right now. Well, Weapons is really good so far. I'm on the third act. I had some family come over, so I had to stop watching it. But that shit, bro, with my surround sound and my bass shakers in the sofa, but they call them butt kickers in America. Yo, that shit's fire, bro. That shit's fire. Roshan Eppinger, what's going on, homie? What's good, G? You all see how they stole Freddy Krueger? No, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing that. Grey Fox, what's going on, baby? He goes the whole slate. Facts, baby. The whole slate. Now let me get this. Yeah, making John Cena. Yeah, that's some funny shit, bro. They were just, I don't know, bro. I don't think they would have got John Cena in if they didn't have beef. If they didn't have beef, The Rock and Vin Diesel at the time, I don't think John Cena would have been in the movie. Simple as. I don't know that. But what Sean, well, DJ Birder, you guys in the States call them butt kickers or butt shakers. That's what you call them. That's what you guys call them in the States. You nasty assholes. Have you watched Tulsa King? Yes, Tulsa King is a great. Season 1 was absolutely fantastic, and season 2 was pretty good as well. What's going on anyway? We got Prolific with a 5, the piece of shit. You POS. Isn't Fast and Furious the way you twerk on these street corners? Prolific, kiss my ass, you $2 whore. That's what I'm gonna say. Kiss my ass. Hold on, where's Eddie Murphy? Where's Eddie Murphy? 1 second. Russian Eppinger, yes, there's a 4DX about 1 hour away from me. One up. Wait. First of all, prolific. Listen to me, punk. Where are you now? Where are you?
From my heart. Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass.
That's right. You know what to do, prolific. Don't play that shit over here. Don't play that shit. We got Day Rizzy with a member for 20 months. What's going on, G? Xbox Game Pass has better deals than Sean Street Corner deals. Look at this shit. 10 minutes in. I'm not even got to the first topic, and he talking about me and them street corners. Kiss my ass as well. You gotta have more discounts if he. Oh shit, he's gotta have more discounts if he's to meet the Rogue Ally X quota. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. There's no need for that shit. There's no need for that shit now. Let's get into the show. Let's have some fun. That's what I'm gonna say. This ain't TTMS roasting Sean 76 or something. This ain't that. This is me roasting you punk asses and these ponies. But before we get to roasting these smelly assholes, let's talk about what's going on in Tokyo. Let's see what's up. What's going on in Tokyo? Where are we right now? We got. You know what? This is an interesting one. Kendrick Star, what's going on, G? Now Tokyo is back, baby. Another year and another showcase from the motherfucking homies, Xbox, baby. On the 25th of September, Xbox will be showcasing another set of games, partnerships across Japan, you name it, Asia, around the world. This year will feature some titles from their own created teams as well, along obviously updates is from the partners as well. Now, everybody knows if you've been following TTS, WBG, on Twitter, Sidicus, what's going on, player? What's up? Booker D, Jamal Lee, what up, gangster? What up, player? Now, if you've been following TTS, WBG, you know the rumors. Nate the Hay, we've heard it as well from some good people as well. That Forza Horizon, the next installment, is gonna be in Tokyo, Japan. And let me tell you something. If that is 100% legit, which it seems like it is, it's gonna be a powerhouse. It's gonna be amazing. If they, what's going on, Boomstick? What's going on, player? What up? Send me a link, for sure, for sure. 1 second. Let me go on here. 1 second, guys. 1 second. Here we go. Let me go here. 1 second, guys. Sorry. 1 second. We go mess. Oh, there. This in boom there, man. 1 second. Boom there. There we are. Links in the chat, bro. Now, listen to me. Tokyo, the game showcase, 2025, baby. Rumor is about Forza being there. Now, what I'm gonna say is, if Boom's hopping in right now, I'll get to Tokyo in a bit. Let me 1 second. Let me invite the one and only Mr. Boomstick XL. What's going on, player?
Listen, I saw you live and I was like, you know what? I got to jump on because this is.
Why not?
Listen, brother, I got to tell you, I got to say it publicly. I love the work that you, Dirt, Ray, and Joey are doing. Honestly, it's my favorite show to watch every week. I literally was in the gym yesterday. I'm doing my 5 miles and I started listening to the show. Brother, I had to put the music on. I couldn't stop laughing. I'm like, I am not going to be able to finish these 5 effing miles by laugh. I was laughing so hard. You guys make me laugh uncontrollably. So again, I had to say it publicly. The work that you guys are doing is not only necessary, it's what makes the community fun. It really does.
100%. Like, you gotta understand, you started, like, first of all, shout out to you, Boom. A lot of people may not know, but you were one of the first guys that let me enter the podcasting scene
Brother,
on your show.
listen. Don't. I didn't do anything. You have a voice. You have a powerhouse voice. You deserve to be heard, brother. Let me tell you.
I know, but it gives you that confidence. And I remember you, how you got yourself on, at the time, Crossfire and them type of shows, how you built yourself up. And that's it. You all look where you are now, bro. Do you know what I mean? From like the 2017, 2018 boom, slowly one day here, one day there. And look where you are 7 years later. And you understand, like, coming from that, especially especially the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 gen, when we got into the podcasting scene boom,
Yes.
the hate on Xbox was like
Crazy.
is insane. And
Yeah.
obviously Xbox was struggling with the first party output at the time as well, because we heard stories about Terry Myerson and all that crazy shit as well. So and look where we are. Never flipped. Not a fake Xbox gamer.
Right.
You
We
know,
didn't leave the brand. Right. We
didn't leave the
uh,
brand because it would have benefited us for our channels, but none of that. Boom, but boom. I know a lot of no matter what happens, I know you don't jump into the console wars, but you throw a shot here and there, because
I
some
do.
people do clip. Some
Sometimes
people
I
clip
feel it's
you.
necessary.
Yeah. Some people clip you, and then you do what you need to do. But boom, where we are right now. I want to ask you about Tokyo for the Tokyo Game
Sure.
Showcase.
Let's get into it, man. Let's do it.
Let's go for it. Now, one of the biggest games for Xbox, first party game, it seems to be Horizon.
Yeah.
That seems to be the game that, when it came to the Xbox One gen, just delivered. Every game, raising the bar.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 5 in 92 meta, I would say the best racing game, well, best open world racing game, and I would say one of the best racing games ever made across all of the racing games over the last 40, 50 years. Boom, sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm hearing behind the scenes now. Obviously, Nate, to hear. I'm sure you heard the same. That finally, it's gonna be in Tokyo. The setting is gonna be in Tokyo. Now, Boom, I want to ask you something. Do you remember when they were showcasing Forza Horizon 5? Do you remember when they showcased on the Xbox showcase what they were talking about? The
Yeah.
rocks, the way the. Now, this is what they need to do. In Tokyo, the showcase, they need to do exactly the same stuff. Break it down. Let the Japanese fan know that this mountain or this street, this is what we're doing. This is what we're bringing. Even have a Japanese presenter there, someone, or maybe
I would agree. Yeah.
maybe some fame when they're breaking down that part of the game. Maybe someone who's famous in the streets, like when it comes to the street racing scene, get someone like that and break it down for the Japanese audience, because that's what your target is right now. Because obviously, I do believe that it's going to be multi-plat day one, unless it's because of time or resources. That's the only way it's going to be time exclusive. But boom, Tokyo. Is it time? Should it be right now? Is this the time to pull up?
I got news for you, bro. I think that there are so many layers to what I'm about to say that I'm gonna be here for a minute. So folks,
Let's go.
walk with me on this or drive with me on this. So Tokyo Game Show, we have heard when it was first announced, it was going to be the biggest Tokyo Game Show in the last 5 years, right? That's been basically confirmed. Capcom's going to be there. PlayStation's going to be there. I think Nintendo might be there as well. All of the bigs are going to be there. Square Enix is going to be there. I have a theory that's been running wild in my mind that there is going to be a shadow drop in the form of Final Fantasy VII Remake at the event, right? Because we've been waiting for it for 5 years. I have an additional caveat where I think it's going to be dropped into Xbox Game Pass as an apology to the fandom, right? Again, and it could be one of two reasons. It could be because Final Fantasy 16 didn't sell as well, and I kind of blame Square for that, because the game didn't, it released, well past its expiration date on Xbox as a bit of a second thought because of the deals that they did with Sony.
Of course.
And Final Fantasy VII, I mean, I'm going to buy it if I have to buy it, but if I can play it on Game Pass, I'll play it on Game Pass. I think it's going to drop there. But when you're talking about Xbox in Japan, it's a little bit like oil and water. Xbox has had very little presence for years. I'd even say decades. The best that they ever did was the Xbox 360, and that was because of titles like Blue Dragon, right? Obviously, that was a big title there. What was the other one? Oh my God, Lost Odyssey is the other one. Lost Odyssey was one of my favorite games. I hope that gets a remake or a sequel. Those two games really kind of brought in the Japanese audience because Xbox specifically sought out these developers in Japan to make these games for exclusive, by the way, for the Xbox. So there are a couple of theories and things running parallel right now that I think Xbox could come back in a big way in Japan, right? So you mentioned Forza Horizon potentially, and again, this comes to this. I basically listen. I don't want to say it's confirmed, but I want to say that it's almost but confirmed that it's going to be in Japan, because obviously one of the biggest takeaways from the June showcase that I've been publicly, giving a little bit of the business to Xbox was that we didn't see any updates for Starfield, which I was a little vexed about, but we didn't hear anything about Horizon 6, which has been confirmed for next year. And now it makes sense, Sean, because
100%.
If they're going to be in Japan and it's going to be in Japan, why not go and make a big to-do about it? But you see, it's not only just Horizon going and being a part of Tokyo Game Show that's important to this conversation. So I kind of want to put on the business hat for a second and say, as a gamer, we can't wait. And I actually think that Turn 10 Studios, even though they were shuttered a little bit, are going to play a big part in Horizon 6 for the technical aspect of it, because there's going to be a lot of, the Japanese racing scene is much different than here. It's a lot of
100%.
drifting, right? So they're going to have to tap into what makes Japanese racing important, right? So I think it's going to be a double team effort from Turn 10, from Playground Games. But when you add into the fact that Xbox is no longer dependent on hardware, their own hardware, which never sold well in Japan, enter the ROG, Ally, X, and the little guy. Because if we know anything about Japan, they're big on cafes with the PCs, but they're also big on the handhelds, on the mobile aspect of gaming. And I think that, Sean, for sure, you can actually see a resurgence with the handheld hardware, but more specifically because they're going to have one of the best racers ever created now in that region, brother. I think that Xbox is going to show up and show out in a big way, and I think they're going to have more than just one or two surprises. I think they're gonna slap it on the table and just say, "Go."
You make a great point there, and I do agree that from what we're hearing, Japan seems to be. It makes sense now. It wasn't at the showcase. Now the rumors are coming out. A bit of Chinese whispers as well, like, it's happening over there. Now it makes sense. Now you understand why they're holding back and waiting for Tokyo. Listen to me, boom. This is the biggest. I would say, look, I don't like to say this, but I think these are facts. I think Forza Horizon is the biggest. Besides, I'm talking about the Xbox Game Studios. I'm not talking about ABK and all that. I think Forza Horizon is the number one game from the Xbox Game Studios.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's
50
crazy
million
to say.
players, brother.
Halo and Gears, them were our, the big boys. And they're still the big boys, but I'm saying Forza has taken it to a different level. When you see 50 million players, that's saying something for a racer. And we always heard about racers, just a niche type of genre.
Niche, yeah.
But
what happened when
it
came out, Sean? Could you tell me? It got snubbed by the Keeleys because it's niche, right? That was the running narrative. 50 million players later, best-selling game on PlayStation 5 this year, and the game's 4 years old. I'm just saying, I'm here to TTS that shit, bro.
Facts. Talking about the handhelds and the on-the-go PC, it's the perfect time. I'm not sure what the price is going to be for the X. We kind of got some leaks, but is it pricey? Of course. And we can see the console prices going up. We can see the handle prices.
Yep.
Hell, that Legion Go, the new one, part 2.
Dude, it's 1,100 to start, brother. I was gonna
Shit.
talk about it tonight. Those prices are
Yo, them
like,
prices are. I'm not the biggest handheld gamer, but someone who plays like on handhelds, it might make perfect sense for them guys. But I do believe when you talk about surprises, Final Fantasy, I remember, I believe it was at the showcase you mentioned. It said it's coming this winter.
yep.
It's the perfect time, and a drop, day one drop, if it's Game Pass or not, it's the perfect time to show the Japanese gamers that this game is available. If you're an Xbox fan, this game is available for you, Xbox today.
Yep.
And that would be a great shadow drop. Isn't it crazy, Boom? We look at the list over the times when Square Enix was associated with PlayStation. And I feel that's what it is. People still believe like a Final Fantasy game is only on PlayStation. And that's the perception because PlayStation's had it from day one, from the early days.
Yeah.
So it's hard to take away that mind share, from people that grew up with the PlayStation 1 and always seen the Final Fantasy games more or less on the PlayStation. Now we get a time exclusive when it's Final Fantasy Remake and these type of games. But I do believe that dropping day one on Tokyo Game Showcase, that's the perfect way to do it. I'm not sure I've not heard anything else like Boom, but have you heard anything else besides, like, I feel like the two big hitters is going to be Final Fantasy
Yeah.
and Forza Horizon. Them are the two big hitters. Have you heard anything else? So you want to let the chat know or something that maybe some other surprise could be there?
You know what's interesting? I have not heard. I've been asking. Don't get me wrong. I have been asking specifically about Final Fantasy VII because it makes too much sense. Whether that be Phil showing up on Square stage or Square coming out to announce because obviously, listen, they got to give us a release date at some point, right? Whether it be in the winter, which is closer to December, which would be a fine release, but I think that it'd be a statement drop, if you will. If you come out to Japan, you announce your new racer for 2026, whether it's multi-platform at Jump or not, it's irrelevant because again, it's going to be one of those things that if it does show up in PlayStation Store, it's going to dominate sales. It's just that's just the way it's going to go. I haven't heard anything else, but if I may interject a theory that I have. Now, going back a couple of years, I had heard that Sarah Bond was working super close with Sega. Remember she had made that trip to Japan and she took a picture of Sega. Well, I don't know what
26 years, Boom. 26 years since the Sega Dreamcast, mate.
Right? So, yeah, that's right. It's one of my favorite consoles. As a matter of fact, I got 86 games in storage. Woo. I don't have pictures of them, but I have every SNK and Capcom game ever released, even the original Darkstalkers. That is incredibly rare. I have that as well. I Dreamcast my favorite.
I've got the Shenmue 1 and 2. I got the Japanese version as well of part 2 somewhere. But you know what I missed? Like, before I let you carry on, Boom, you know the Sega Dreamcast? I love the art. When you talk about the SNK and these,
yes,
the art style on them covers were gorgeous.
Unbelievable. Great artwork.
Gorgeous.
Everything.
Yeah,
everything. Listen,
it was fantastic.
I used to import all my stuff. I actually imported. So here's a quick story before I get into my thought and theory. I tell the story every now and again. So anybody that's a collector of whatever, it could be comics, it could be toys, it could be figures, whatever your flavor is. There's always that one instance that you wish you can go back in time and meet yourself and be like, don't do it. Right? So in what was it? 94, I had just got on the NYPD. I was super rookie, right? And we got paid shit for the NYPD back in those days. I was bringing home, folks, I'm not even kidding you, $800 after taxes every 2 weeks to be a cop. That's what it
crazy,
was.
dog.
It's
That's crazy.
gross. Now these kids are making good money, but not when I got on. So the Dreamcast was coming out, and I wanted to import it from Japan. And the packages that they had was the Dreamcast, a VMU, the 4 games, which was Pen Triathlon, Godzilla. I think it was Virtual Fighter. Was that the one that I think might have been Virtual Fighter? And there was another one that it was all Japanese. So basically, you were getting a game that you couldn't even play. I don't speak Japanese,
Yeah.
so I wind up getting it. It was like, I think the import it was like $1,200, right? So I am a G.I. Joe freak. As a matter of fact, the reason I became a police officer was because of G.I. Joe. Because of that, so I got my first 2 G.I. Joes when I was 12 years old for my 12th birthday, and playing with G.I. Joes growing up as a kid is what made me go into law enforcement. I'm like, this G.I. Joe, I want to be like a G.I. Joe. And I was in the Navy also, but I wanted to be a New York City police officer, which, you know, again, a dream. Right? I was able to live it. Oh, sorry about that. That is my Metal Gear Solid. What? I don't even know what my phone is. Apologies for that, folks. The unprofessionalism. And I had, folks, if you know anything about collecting toys, G.I. Joe came out in 1982. There was probably around maybe 500-ish figures in its collection. I had most of them, and I had 3/4 of them on card, mint on card. And if I had them right now, if I had those figures today, I'd be able to put down the 20% on our home. That's how much they're worth. Specifically, like Snake Eyes is a $800 figure, mint on card. I had him mint on card. And I wanted this Dreamcast because I was a Sega kid. I love Nintendo, but I've always been a Sega kid. I took the 3 boxes that I had of these figures, and I went to one of the local comic shops. It was called Cosmos. I remember like it was yesterday, folks. And I knew Cosmos for years. And I'm like, Cosmo, listen, I got these figures. They're worth a lot of money. They're mint on card. I was looking to get like $1,500. I walked away with $1,000 he gave me. And I wound up getting the Dreamcast, which I'm not sorry that I did, ladies and gentlemen, but I got rid of my entire G.I. Joe collection. Oh my God. It's like a dagger to my heart every time I tell that story. Oh my God. So yeah, so I mean, again, sorry to get off subject, but the Dreamcast probably is still to this day one of my favorite consoles of all time. I have 2. Console. I actually have an American. I have a Japanese import. I have 4 controllers, 86 games. I even got the converter because I wanted to convert, for the modern TVs. So if I ever get my own little man cave, once we get a big place, I'm gonna put it up.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love the Dreamcast.
It's a great console. Let me get these super chats, Boom. Then
you can
talk about why so serious for it too. So Boom saved Sean from the street corners.
That is not true at all.
See this shit, Boom?
Oh
you see this shit?
You get the disrespect the same as Dirt. Dirt is consistently getting the disrespect. Oh my!
Dave is with do you know what you say this, Boom? It might sound a bit more better coming from you.
Oh, backhand Boom is here to keep Sean off those streets. Dave Reezy, $2 super chat. Dave, salute to you, kind sir.
Go on, I'll let you have this one. Go for it.
Okay, so Razor Ultron drops a very generous $5 super chat. He goes on, he says, Sean getting hate from other corner workers because he offers street corners pass for a $2 a month for his customers. Stay busy, UPOS. Hey, Sean. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it.
Razor Ultron? You know Razor Ultron. 1 second.
From my heart. Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass.
Oh my God.
I'll let you continue, Boom. So what is the Tokyo? Have you got something?
Here's my theory. Again, if you take a moment to see the plans that have been laid by Xbox, in the last couple of years, it's trying to partner with the bigs in Japan. There's a reason for that. That's not just, a foregone conclusion, or hey, we gotta give it the old college effort. There are reasons for it. And with Xbox, sometimes they do things that are quick and people give them smoke for it, and they're too ahead of their own time for their own good, right? Like with the voice controlled Siri and everything else, they had their own first, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, Xbox is watching us," right? The plans that they're working on, and you saw it. I don't know whether you saw it. Hazardor Gaming had put out a post that Sega is going to be showing off. I think it's 9 games,
Yeah.
and they showed 5 of the 9 games, but there were 4 slots that were empty. I don't know if it's going to be 1-to-1 with Xbox specifically, but I think there's going to be something like Jet Set Radio announced at Tokyo Game Show. I can see that actually being a day one Game Pass drop. Like, I think that they're working with them, to not only, because they're working with them with the Super Game initiative that they're having. They've been working with them for years, and that Sarah Bond was leading that. If anyone didn't know,
there's something happening there, and when you talk about the relationship with Sega, you got like the latest game. I believe the latest game we got like a brand new IP was one of the Yakuza games. Which one was it? I forgot. Man, the man who erased my name or something like that. It was.
Yes. Yeah, and remember
that was a brand new IP from them as well, like brand new game, and that was when you talk about the Sega relationship, it's right up there now. It's really good right now. So I can see when you make some of the points about some of these games, it makes sense to bring these type of games back. And some of these games, boom. I know you're like older than me, but Jet Set Radio was one of them games back then where a lot of the new guys won't know what it is, but we'll know what it is.
Sega Dreamcast, brother.
Let me get a super chat. We got Adidas 20 with a 5. Salute to Dr. Pepper.
That's me he's talking to. I don't drink soda that often. I do have every now and again let my hair down, as the kids like to say, and I have a Dr. Pepper, but I normally don't drink soda.
And he goes, "Yo, Sean, I'm coming for your sister. Come on, Adidas.
Oh my goodness, TTS.
TTS.
Christmas. I do have.
Sorry, go
Sean,
on,
I have one more. Now, this one is a little ridiculous, right? This is ridiculous. So we know that Sony's going to bend the knee, right? They have already bent the knee with Helldivers.
That's right.
And the fine folks over at Sony saw how Xbox gamers stepped up, showed out, and beat Sony at their own game, literally, by having 900,000+ people buy Helldivers 2. I was one of them. In 6 days. And when you look at the same time frame, well, it was a 300,000 purchase difference. Now, we know that there's been 5 million sales. That's the new number for Helldivers on PlayStation 5. That's admirable. That's a solid number, right?
Yeah.
And they took all these, an entire year to get there. We'll see what happens with Xbox, but there is no doubt that Xbox players, if you were to drop something like Spider-Man 2018, would show up and Sony make a lot of money. I've said this before, Sean, and I'll say it again. I think the same success that Xbox is having, and they're not having just mild success on PlayStation 5, they are wrecking shop over at Sony, right? The numbers don't lie, folks. I mean, when you have
MPD doesn't lie.
There you go. What if? And this is the ridiculousness. So, folks, bear with me on this one. What if because Xbox is coming to Japan, which of course is Sony's home turf, and Sony's going to have a presentation there at some point or another. What if something happens where they announce, like, I don't know, Astrobots for Nintendo Switch and Xbox? Like I can actually see something like that happening because, again, it's a lot of people are going to be. The world's eyes are going to be on the game. Is it the biggest show in gaming for throughout the year? It's not. It's not
It's not,
bigger
no.
than E3. It's not bigger than Gamescom. But Tokyo Game Show is pretty big. And I think an announcement like that, again, it is a ridiculous shot in the dark, but you never know.
You know, boom. When you were one of the first one to mention Hell Divers, and I remember talking to Hardgi and some other people as well, and they call you a lunatic,
Bro.
you know, and I heard it behind the scene, but I was like, I'm not sure, man. I think Boom shouldn't put it out there because you know how people start clipping and all that. I was like, I'm unsure about that, but let's see. But listen, it played out. It played out perfectly for you. You know that one game that did it. You
Yeah.
can see in the Twitter streets, it broke the community. Now
It did,
they've
yeah.
got the, and listen, we got upset when the multi-plat stuff happened with you know.
We did. I was one of them. I was in my feelings.
We in our feelings. It is what it is, but we accepted it and said it is what it is. $1 billion corporation is gonna do what they're gonna do. They're not gonna listen to my punkcast or your punkcast on YouTube. Or so, yeah, listen to these guys. No, these guys are here to make money. Now, when Hiroki Toki came on the scene, and don't get me wrong, Spider-Man, these games are sold fantastic.
Yeah.
But we're in a generation right now, boom, that development time and cost, it just keeps increasing, and he's selling to the same people. That's the problem they're having right now. Now, if the budget wasn't increasing, fine. That 10 million sales would have been fantastic. Perfect. But nope, you're selling 10 million copies, but your budget's increased to about 50 million to 100 million. Now, Helldivers is a perfect example. It shows Hiroki, Nishino, it shows the big boys at PlayStation, the shareholders that, you know what? We are dominating the console space. It's a wrap. We got when it comes to the console space, we got the mind share from the casuals, and when it comes to the worldwide appeal, we got it. So people are not gonna leave the digital library, what Phil Spencer talked about on Kind of Funny. It's hard to move these people away from these platforms because they invested so much. So I'm sure guys like Hiroki, they're gonna look at what is the next game that can make us millions. Do you remember that interview with David Jaffe and or was it Colin? I can't remember. With Shuhei Yoshida. He goes, when we port games to the PC,
Prince
it's
money, he
basically
said.
free. It's free money basically. You tell me now, the first Spider-Man, massive IP, one of the biggest characters, you know, is sitting there. I don't see that game selling on MPD anymore. Make it sense. Make it sense, Boom.
Look, here's the thing. Whenever I mention Spider-Man 2018 or Miles Morales, right? You know, the trolls come out for me. They come for me, and that's fine. Listen, I'm gonna be 55 at the end of the month. It's okay. I got thick skin. You can imagine what I heard as a police officer, and I just laughed it off, just like I laughed it off here, right? But if we want to just be honest, put your emotional console war horse shit to the side. PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, whatever. I don't care. This is a business, ladies and gentlemen. And let me just throw some numbers out there, right? So you mentioned Helldivers 2 and you mentioned Spider-Man in the same breath. So let me throw some numbers out there for some people who don't know. Spider-Man 2, if you didn't know, is a phenomenal game. And it's even been made even better because of Tony Todd voicing
100%.
Venom. And of course, you know, we know what happened with poor Tony Todd. He passed on, right? You got a story that broke today that Venom is coming next year. It is going to be the Lethal Protector. From what we've heard, is a rumor, folks. I don't know. Tony did record a bunch of lines, so he's going to be voicing the character, even though he's passed on. That's amazing. So I'm a day one buyer. But let's talk numbers for a second. Let's get emotion off the table. Spider-Man 2 cost $315 million to make, right? That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Okay? Did you know, and again, I'm a numbers guy, folks, and I'm an evidence-based conversationalist, right? Spider-Man or Doctor Strange and the Spider-Man film, which is Spider-Man what was the last one?
No Way Home.
No,
No Way Home.
yeah,
No Way Home.
that cost $200 million to make. Right? It broke over $1 billion, that film. Think about that. They spent $200 million and they made over $1 billion. Crazy. Spider-Man 2 for the PlayStation 5 releases and gets its lunch eaten by Helldivers 2 that cost $100 million to make.
Yeah.
1/3 less. That game, even though it's a bit of a niche game and it's hard as hell, sold more than Spider-Man 2. So that is ultimate. It's lost money for Sony. Did they make back their $315 million? Well, I don't know because I don't have access to the books. But when you take a game like Spider-Man 2018 that just celebrated its 7th anniversary this past Sunday, you take a game like Miles Morales, which was a smaller slice of the Spider-Verse. My favorite in the series, to be honest, for personal reasons, right?
But 100%.
If you think that the success of Helldivers did not greenlight those two games, and why those specific games is because the Spider-Man IP, Spider-Man is the most recognized hero in the entire planet. Yeah, you could put
100%.
Batman there, you could put Superman there, but Iron Man, but Spider-Man
is one of the big ones.
All. And you said Hiroki Totoki, you talked about Nishino. These are the money people, folks. They know that there's an audience on Xbox that will, and I'm going to throw a number out there. I'm going to go crazy with this one. I think that if Spider-Man 2018 dropped on Xbox, million seller day one. Day one, million sold because it's Spider-Man. We don't have a Spider-Man on Xbox. I think that's a far-going conclusion. And I got news for you. I'm throwing this out there to the ether. When that happens, not if, folks, I'm going to show up like King David wearing a Spider-Man outfit with the blinky eyes. I bought the mask already, folks. So get ready.
I'll probably have to get one as well then. Boom, the reason why Spider-Man 1's it was a great game. I like the first OG character. I don't like the look of the new guy, personal reasons. But the 2018 Spider-Man, I think it was a really solid game for a Spider-Man game. Is it better than the Arkham games? No, but it was a good soft reboot, and they did it perfectly. Where people are like, yo, this game is dope. The way they're doing the web slinging, the story's pretty good as well. Besides some of the side missions with MJ and that, but overall, it's a solid game. And I would say this, Boom. The reason why I want games like that games like Spider-Man to come, is because I love the console war stuff, which and I love to see people. I love to see the PlayStation fanboys. Well, I like to say ponies because they're the hardcore guys. Cry on Twitter because they were the ones that say never ever, never do this. Why do they need to sell to a dead platform? And that's what I love to see. And I played the game on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Was it the Pro? Yeah, the Pro at the time. Completed it, but guess what, Boom? Whenever that game gets announced, I'm gonna buy it.
Me too.
Just to shit talk. And I'll play it, but I've completed it already, but I would buy it just to shit talk. So Hiroki Nishino was like, yo, they're buying the games over there. What is the next one? But Boom, let me ask you something. We live in a time where I seen this in 2019. This is what I saw in 2019. When I seen games like Fortnite, Apex Legends, and what they were doing, how they were updating themselves, becoming a platform, free to play, I knew it was going to be a problem as time goes on because the games are looking pretty good right now. You look at games like Fortnite, it's not a shitty looking game. It looks pretty good to be honest. And that's where we are. And I felt like the newer games coming up, the newer gamers coming up, they're going to get used to what? Boom? Free to play games.
Yes.
because
Yep.
they're growing up like how we grew. I always talk about this. When we were growing up, VHS. Make sure at 7 o'clock we had to watch this a TV show, watch whatever. We had to be at home at 7 p.m. to watch it. Nowadays, how do they access this content? Totally different. Mobile, tablets, right? New seasons are out. We'll watch it when we need to watch it. Or best yet, get a VHS and put a timer on so you can record. You know, don't
Yeah,
change the channel.
man.
Don't change the channel. Make sure you stick to that one channel and let it record that half an hour or 1 hour time slot for your TV. And that's how that's how we were doing our content. That's how we consume our content. But as time goes on, the new generation, hell, have you seen what they're doing? What Xbox, like, boom, I understand what Xbox is trying to do. I know it might sound a bit silly. This is an Xbox. That's an Xbox. They're trying to have their platform, the ecosystem everywhere, so you can access it. That's what they're trying to target. They are trying to be the Netflix of, like, it's on your TVs, your tablet, your phone, your laptop, handhelds, shit, maybe your washing machine, who knows, at the time. And when we talk, me and the homie didn't talk about this. The future, the setup, I really do believe Xbox is in a better position
I agree.
coming to the future. Cloud gaming as well, all of that stuff. They're setting themselves up for the future. Sony, I feel like they're still gonna stick to the consoles space. That's what it maybe come with a smaller, like a PlayStation S. But that's where the money is, and they do great on that. Why not? It's working for them. Let them carry on, but they need to make more money. But Xbox, the way they're moving, they're looking 10, 15, 20 years ahead, trying to be ahead of the game. They don't want Amazon or Apple or Tencent or someone to come into the space and take the money away. Hell, Tencent doesn't even have a console, and look how much money they're making.
Yep.
Apple Arcade making so much money. That's why they want to push for the mobile, the console, the PC, the handheld, cloud gaming. And I really do believe, like someone mentioned, the Rogue Ally X. They even that new car advert. This is an Xbox, I know that's crazy, but they're doing the partnership with everybody, and that's where I see Xbox is right now, setting themselves up for the future. And I'm sure you see the same. We old school, we love the exclusive, we love the console, we love the box underneath the TV, all of that stuff. But I can see we are the old school guys, the new gamers, the way they're gonna consume the content is totally different the way we were consuming our content or buying our content at the time. And I'm sure you agree with that, Boom.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I was talking about that with Kay Asante. I think that Xbox is really ahead of the curve, and this time it's not people throwing shade at them. Now I know that they got a lot of slack from the this is an Xbox, but look, however you want to slice the pie, they lost to Sony in the console business.
Yeah.
Sony is the more popular brand. It's number 7 in the top 10 most recognizable brands in the entire world. And they didn't accidentally get that. See, I want this to be clear. Sony didn't trip that. They earned that. They put out a lot of great games. Now, maybe those games aren't for a lot of people in the chat. And I'm not going to fight with you if you don't like those games, but I like them. I enjoy their single player, story driven, over the shoulder games. So they got there by being the more popular brand, right? They're there. So Xbox had to pivot. They had to lose a couple of generations, and they have, right? They had a shot in during the 360, and they actually beat Sony. A lot of people don't think so. Sony sold the PlayStation 3 a lot longer after the Xbox 360 stopped selling. That's why they ultimately beat them in sales.
They took over, yeah.
Right? But when it came to, presence, everyone was an Xbox back then. Everyone played on Xbox, right? But then they had the 2013 situation with the people that were running the show that weren't so great, and they said some things that they shouldn't have, and they stepped on their D's. That's just, that happened. So they had to pivot, and now they are in a position where they own all the biggest and greatest IPs. They own Call of Duty. They own Fallout. They own Elder Scrolls. They own Starfield. It goes on and on and on. So now what they've done in order to pivot is this is an Xbox. So they actually don't care where you play the games. They just care that you're either subscribed to Game Pass or you're going to buy the game and you're going to be able to stream that game on anything that you have. So ultimately, they won. And you know something? I know that on paper, the market leader currently is Sony because they have 80 million PlayStation 5 sold. But when you start going and looking in between the lines of things, I wouldn't just give them the championship belt and be like, yeah, you won. Not really. I mean, again, look at what's selling on PlayStation right now. It's not PlayStation games, folks. It's Xbox games. All Xbox owned IP. So who's winning? I don't know.
You know, you make a great point when it comes to who's winning. Or like, we always agree that PlayStation has dominated the console space, but even number one is doing moves that surprises a lot of people. Like number one, why are you putting your games here? Why are you
Yep.
putting your games on PC? It's telling you the business isn't sustainable. That's the problem right now.
Yep.
Keeping it the same isn't sustainable 10 years ago. Hell, I would say 5 years ago, boom, so much has changed. We in the industry right now, we do the content, podcasting, and we get to see it more. When people say this is kind of the worst generation, I wouldn't agree. Like, the point I would say is for developers. For us gamers, we eat and we got so many games in. Game Pass in 2025 is nothing like it. No,
It's the
nobody's
best
touching
year
Game Pass.
of the service, brother. Yeah. I agree.
2026, I think 2026 is gonna top that with the four big games coming out next year from first party. I'm saying, but for developers, them dudes are having a problem right now. Callisto Protocol, Glenn, $160+ million it cost to make Callisto Protocol. They needed to sell that game at full price and hit 5-6 million at full price. Boom, they sold about 5 to 7 million, but it wasn't at full price. What happened? Studio shut down. That's what I mean. Like, it's a terrible generation for developers if you're trying to push the high level mark, which I love the high level mark. But when you get games like Expedition, Kronos, these games are costing 25 to 40 million max, and they're getting a lot of credit. People are loving them games. Hell, the new Silk Song as well. You know, and that's where we are at. It's quite difficult for these AAA developers. When they take a hit, they can't recover. In the Xbox 360 generation and the PlayStation 3, boom, they could recover. Come with a bad game, boom, 2 years later, we got a new game out there. They could do that. Now they can't do it. When they lose $150 million, they're in trouble. And that's why it's quite terrible for these developers in this generation. And I think moving forward, it's going to be a problem for them, for certain developers that want to take a risk and come with a brand new IP that costs $150 million. Where you're going to see smaller agile teams with $20-25 million, and you can be like, yo, fantastic. And that's what's gonna work for them.
Well, check this out. Jamie Moran, who's a part of Xbox Factor podcast on Tuesdays, and of course, he has his own show on Tuesdays.
Salute.
He put out a list, brother, and this is just what's. I mean, they're all basically what released this year except for one. Check this out, and they're all under $50. Expedition 33, $50.
Yep.
Oblivion Remastered, $50 in Game Pass, and
In Game
actually
Pass.
sold more when it came out, the remake, than the original.
That's crazy. That
9 million plus copies of this game sold, and it's in Game Pass. A game from last year, Split Fiction by Joseph Fares' team.
Yep.
Freaking amazing game, dude. Sold like gangbusters, and won awards left, right, and center. Grounded 2 in preview sold like gangbusters. Right? People are loving it. Mafia. Now, Mafia under $50 didn't sell as well as the original Mafias. Didn't sell as well on Xbox. I know Dirt had talked about that. Sold better on PlayStation because, the install base makes sense. It's a phenomenal game, folks. If you want to get it, you should. If you like Mafia, you're going to love it. Helldivers 2. I mean, what could you say? It sold like crazy, under $40. and just recently released Silk Song, $20.
$20.
$20 game. Like I loved it so much, and I'm not really. And the game is difficult, especially in the bosses. Bro, I bought it twice.
You know, it it is quite difficult because I still love the big blockbuster games. But when I see the big blockbuster games, I want my eyes to melt. You know, when I see Gears of War E Day, I just want to be Fable and these type of games. I love seeing these type of games, but I understand why some developers, when it comes to like Mafia, a prime example, Mafia. We know the last one didn't do that good, even though the story was really good, even though the midsection was a bit too long, but overall, the Mafia trilogy was fantastic
I
overall.
love the third game, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
Lincoln was
I, yeah,
incredible.
Lincoln was fantastic. It's just the middle section was kind of just repetitive, but I understand why they went for a $50 game, a narrative game as well, linear based, and it makes sense because it's quite difficult to because people don't play. I feel it's a bit wrong saying this, but it's hard to get people. It's hard to find people to play them type of games now. Where they used to play them back in the days. Now they don't play them like that. They just say Mafia, and it's a shame that happens.
Yeah.
And it
If your
makes
name is
sense
not
why it's
GTA, you
$50.
ain't moving. You ain't moving units.
Oh, Call of Duty, NBA, Madden.
Hmm.
It's quite difficult. You got to be at the right price. Now you know for a fact if Mafia Old Country was $70, it's a wrap.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I
Yeah,
absolutely agree.
it's a wrap. But like boom, I want to ask you something before I want to I'll finish the show off soon as well. Where do you see the gaming industry like? We always talk about like I'll give you a prime example. The
Hmm.
Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 gen, fantastic launch lineup from Xbox, but as time was going on, you started to see the live service games. The free to play at the tail end, started to see free to play games kick in. Now, live service free to play is in full effect right now. What is the next wave, would you say? Like, what is that next part where.
Ooh.
Now, I'm going to give you example. Another example. I said I don't play NBA 2K, but I know some of the homies that plays it and they talk about the city. Basically, you're paying to win in that game. And I said, I got a feeling as time goes on, if they can make that city a massive platform like Fortnite, I can see that the city part going free to play in the future, and they're selling all kinds of stuff, doing what Fortnite does, concert, get this person, do this,
Sneakers.
do that. I've got a feeling, boom, in the future, that's what they're trying to target. And it wouldn't surprise me. So, is this something that you can see the next wave, like, it's
Ooh.
gonna, the next part, like, what is the next step? Like, we
The
won't
ne-
like it, but it's gonna be part of the future.
Sean, the next step for gaming, I think, is going to be dictated by the list that I just read. I think when you get to the end of this year, and you're going to see some of these smaller developers, the smaller teams, the smaller budgeted games take up all the awards. Like there's always going to be a Call of Duty, a Madden, a 2K. Like these games need to exist. There's always going to be Nintendo, and I don't like bringing Nintendo in because they find a way. Nintendo is like a magical entity, right? They do some pretty scumbag things. There's no doubt about it. But you
Yeah.
take something like Donkey Kong, for instance. I don't know how
Yeah.
many people played it. It is freaking incredible. It is
It just
so
works. They make it
much
work.
fun, right? But their budgets are very low. Like I don't know what the exact budget of that game is, but I would say that's probably no more than $50 million,
I would say
right?
that.
When you compare to all of the other budgeted games. But I think the industry could no longer hold its own weight. That's what ultimately I think. I think that the move to $80 games is going to break the industry. We saw what happened. First it was Borderlands 4, and then they recanted. And then, of course, it was the Outer Worlds 2, and Xbox had to check themselves because a lot of us came out and be like, yo,
Yeah,
if that's $80, I'm not buying it.
that's not the
Now,
game for $80.
no, and I'm sure it's going to be an incredible game, but $80,
Come
what
on. I
I
would
can't
assume
sign
Call
off
of
on that.
Duty would have been the step forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. But still,
But I mean, look, the industry has to change. It when you have smaller teams that bring you Silksong and Team Cherry or Expedition 33 or even like Joseph Fair's team, right? I know
he
he's
does a
backed by
fantastic job.
EA, but
Yeah.
these are smaller developers making AAA sized in games.
Experiences, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that the pivot for the industry is the big games are always the sequel big games, the Call of Duties, the Maddens, the 2Ks, the ones that we always know, they're going to be there. The free to play games, I don't think that top 10 really changes. I think Fortnite, Apex,
Minecraft.
Minecraft, Roblox, all of these other free to play games that are in the top 10 that take up everyone's time, these black hole games as they're known, they're going to remain. You might have a new one pop up that might jockey someone out of the 10 spot or the 9 spot, right? But for the most part, those are going to remain what they remain because they're popular. I think the industry is no longer going to be able to justify $300 million games. I cannot see that happening, because you have to spend the money to make the game. And you said it earlier, development times, 5 years used to be about the max. Now games are taking 7 years to come out. You got to pay these people insurances and salaries and everything else that goes along with a business. And if you do that for 7 years, what happens if that game bombs, bro?
You're
Like
done.
what you finished?
And that's the problem we're having right now. Let me get these two super chats because I want to add something to that. Pioneer with a 5. The point is, what gaming company is doing more for you? And obviously for us, for me, it's Xbox, and I'm
It's
sure for Boom it's
Xbox.
the same as well.
Mhm.
Especially Picker World's 1 month. Shout out to you, 1 month
Salute.
so far. Salute, bro. I would say this: we are at a point right now, and a prime example. Let me remove that. The initiative. I was hell of excited. 2018 going crazy.
Yeah.
All of us did. Yeah, this is our blockbuster studio. Blah blah blah. How did that turn out for us? When the PlayStation fans were saying organic growth, they should cultivate these studios. Well, Initiative was a brand new studio. They were trying to bring in talent, and what happened to that studio? 7 years later, you needed more money. And I always say this, Boom. If someone's up for sale, if someone's got an engine that's running flawless, something like Call of Duty, Diablo, buy the bitch. If
Yeah.
you got the money, just buy something that's guaranteed to make you money. It is what it is. When you're trying to build up a studio, prime example, look what happened to Five Oak, Fire Sprite, Haven Studios. What are they trying to do? Organic growth. It doesn't work in this generation, this time right now. You need results. If you're not showing nothing in 5 years, there's gonna be a problem. Because
Yeah.
you said it, you pay these people a lot of money. And is there a guarantee them type of games will sell? No.
Nope.
And that's the problem we're having right now. Duke Toga goes, that was our quadruple A studio. Yeah. And we've seen how that turned out for us. Boom.
You know what it was
before I let you-
with
go on.
the initiative, Sean. What happened with them? Too many chefs, not enough cooks. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
There
Yeah.
you
Head
had a
chefs.
lot. You had a lot of people that were there that were incredibly talented. The problem is that they were all ran their own studios. So you put all of these talented people in a room, and now people are trying to jockey who's going to tell this studio head what to do. But I ran my own studio, and I don't have to listen to you. I think there was a lot. I mean, I don't know for sure, but when you put that much talent and you put leaders in one room and you're trying to determine who's going to lead them all, that's where you get into problems, and that's why it didn't work out.
Yeah. What are you doing? Are you okay? That one's coming. Yeah, you're right. It's gonna be. I don't know how the industry is gonna change, but I think you make a good point where the expeditions and these type of games where they give you that AAA quality, that seems like the next step for some of these developers. I would say that's a safe step where you're not spending 150 million, but you're only spending 25 to 40 million. And I don't feel like a studio. Well, it's still not guaranteed, but it won't end your career. It won't end your studio, and that's a safe bet. Like boom. Anyway, before I let you go, I really appreciate you coming on. Next generation. What are you feeling when it comes to the next Xbox? Because we've been hearing that there might be a partnership Xbox next year, maybe with Rogue Ally or something. But with Xbox, what is the feeling like? What do you want from a next Xbox console? Because I really do believe it's going to be a bit pricey, which is understandable
Yeah.
in today's market. But is there something like when we got the Xbox Series X, and I stand by this, boom, the build quality, the way it's designed,
Mhm.
I think the Xbox Series X is the best design console ever.
I agree. And it's just the way it's sturdy, the way it's positioned. It's
Quiet,
I love it all. Yeah.
yeah. So what is that feature when we got like quick resume? Is this something that you want something for the next generation? Like, yo, that will be amazing on the next console. Is there something that you have seen?
Yeah, I actually haven't thought about that because so let's just take the next generation Xbox 2027
Yeah,
versus the PlayStation 6, which had a rumor dropped about it releasing with a optional disc drive. So they're going to have physical media for the next generation. That's great for PlayStation, right? Here's the difference between what Sony is doing, what Xbox is doing. Sony is going to release a very powerful console. Make no mistakes, folks. It's going to be very powerful. The problem is it's going to be a much more powerful PlayStation 5. And I'm not saying that to be disrespectful. It is going to be a very powerful console, but in its form factor, it's just going to be another PlayStation. There are not going to be anything new to it. This is where Xbox steps in. Xbox is going to give you an open platform. You've never seen that before with an Xbox, meaning that you're going to have access to all of your stores. Now, I'm not a PC guy, and I've been offered to work with PC companies. Hey, take this rig. No thanks, because now I'm responsible to having to sell it. I don't want to do
yeah.
that. I don't play on PC. I could have gotten. I could buy one right now. I could buy a $5,000 rig right now, and I don't want to. I don't want the problems. I just want to sit on my couch and download a game and play. Now, I know it can be like that for PC, but a lot of times it's not. Where the next Xbox comes in and gives you this open platform, Sean, is it's going to give you access, or people like me who are non-PC players,
Including
access to
myself.
Steam, access to good old games, access to all the free games that Epic Game Store gives me. All of that is going to be available, and yes, that box is probably going to be $800, $900. But if you go with the rumor, there's also a dockable S version of next generation that's rumored, and that could be the entry point for a lot of gamers who don't want to spend $1,000 on a box. That's my thought. I
That's
think
right.
that both companies are going to be there in a big way. I think the way Xbox is doing it, giving you access to all of these stores on this platform, is the better way.
That's what it seems that what's going to be different between the PlayStation 6 and the new Xbox Series X2, if you want to call it that. You have to do something different. Xbox has tried to go toe to toe, and they've been losing. So you gotta come with a different game plan,
Yep.
and that game plan might just help them, you know, uh, win a couple more rounds, and that's all you need. The open storefront, like I'm sure when you watch prime example, Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest, there were some games that looked really. I forgot the names because they were on Steam. And some game, I go, this game looks quite interesting. Looks pretty good. I think one was a fighting game or something. Guess what? Wish list it on Steam. I'm like,
Yes. Yep.
and I'm like, that game looks really good. And they were not all PC games, but there's certain games. And I understand why developer, put it on PC or Steam first because it's just easier for them. But I would like to see them type of games if it's available, if I can access them games, and we seen the Xbox X, with the new UI,
Yep.
is looking easy, seamless. And if they can perfect that, which I really do believe they can, they got 18 months to 2 years now. When the new Xbox with the new OS, this is the time to perfect it. Craft it. Use Rogue Ally. Use LG. Use Samsung. Use all these guys to perfect your craft. So when it comes to your own hardware, that shit is flawless, and then that's what I want to see from Xbox. And that could be something that maybe a PC gamer might say, you know what, for $800, $900, this is a powerful box. This is more
Yeah.
powerful than my PC rig, and that could be an opportunity. So I'm looking forward to it, Boom. Honestly, I can't wait to see. I'm hoping to see next year some information about what they're gonna do with the next Xbox.
Yeah, next year is supposed to be, again, it's a rumor, folks, so take it with a grain of salt. They've already partnered with Asus, so they have the handheld coming out this year. The rumor is next year the OEM device, Xbox, which is going to be the box underneath your TV. That's going to basically be a preview of what Microsoft is doing with their own box for 27. At least that's the rumor.
I feel like that's gonna happen, and that's gonna be if that's gonna be a pricey. That's gonna be pricey as well. Boom. We're in a generation right now where console prices are staying or going up.
Going up, yeah.
And never, it's just we've been lucky over the past 25, 35 years. We've been lucky getting the hardware at a good price, cheaper as time goes on. But we are at a point right now, just it is what it is now.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But Boom, let's close the show. Where
Yes.
can people find you, Boom? And I really appreciate you, you coming on as well.
Well, first of all, you got to catch those other 2 super chats that just popped in, so just grab those.
One second,
And
let's go.
yeah.
Where are we now? Grey Fox with the €2. 24-hour stream with Sean, Dirt, and Boom when Spidey drops. That sounds like a good plan.
I'm
Like
gonna
a
wear
plan.
my Spider-Man underoos. Here we go. Yes.
Yes. Pioneer with the 2. PC gaming is never as easy as they say it is. Yeah,
Indeed.
Indeed it is. And Pioneer again, all of the updates and different drivers, and I'm losing 2 frames here.
No,
I
thank
see
you.
people talk about that, so it is what it is. But yeah, Boom, we got them all. Let's go.
Well, listen, folks. If you've never heard of me before, Mr. Boomstick XL on Twitter. We have a YouTube channel called Double Barrel Gaming. We have crossed 16,000 subscribers. We've been doing this since 2017. November 3rd of 2017 was our first video. It's awful. It's still up there. The sound was off. I didn't even know how to make a thumbnail, folks. Like if you go, it's a picture of Wolfenstein as the thumbnail, and I didn't make that. I didn't even know what I was doing. I'm going to be honest with you. But since then, we have 5 syndicated shows Monday through Friday. We are mostly an Xbox show. We have 3 Xbox shows. We have 2 multi-plat shows. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, primetime gaming with the homies, of course, Kay Asante and Hargeet Chani. And we're going to be getting into Tokyo Game Show. And we're also going to be talking about the Legion Go 2 versus the Xbox Ally X, and which is the better buy. Again, check us out on Double Barrel Gaming. But Sean, brother, thanks so much for letting me pop in here. And I hope I didn't take over the podcast because I felt like I did. So
no, it's fun. It's good to get a bit of a mix, a bit more easier. But Boom, as time goes on, it's gonna be, you're gonna get a lot of up and downs. People are gonna say stuff or just in the gaming space, it's just the way it is, Boom. You know, don't worry about it. I know when people try to clip you, try to clip us. I believe you've been clipped today as well. It's the noise and them guys on Twitter. Honestly, they're nobodies.
You know what? Listen, my brother told me that when he said when I first started YouTube, he says, you know, I know how you are, Craig. You're emotional. People are gonna come for you. The minute you get any traction, they're gonna come for you. You know what? I'm gonna be 55 in September at the end of the month. There wasn't anything they could say to me that's gonna make me run and hide and go to mama. And that's fine. You know what? I put it this way. If you and I know the clipping community loves this stuff, and that's fine. But I mean, why waste your talent if you have any on that? Make your own podcast, put your own thoughts out there, be a man, be a woman, go in front of the camera, do what we do. When you can do that, then we can have a conversation. Until then, well, you know, no, you're gonna be like a shooting star, super bright for a second, and then phase right out. But that's it, brother.
That's it, yeah. Let me get this last one, then we close it out. They reviewed the 5. Something skipped. You guys skipped over is the Xbox console has a surge protectors built in, which is yeah, that's right. But even though I got the boom. There's a quick story. Let me get this. Also with Quick Resume that PC don't have. They could have tracked PC. Quick Resume is amazing.
That's the best.
Absolutely amazing. I got the Xbox One X Cyberpunk Edition console, Boom. And what happened? There was like a thunder strike or something nearby. It messed up, but lucky it was within the first 4 weeks, so it was still in warranty. So they gave it back. My LG OLED messed up. The power supply messed up.
Oh man.
My subwoofer that messed up, but I didn't know after the year because I didn't notice it because I had a kid, so I left it off because I had a baby, young born, and the Xbox Cyberpunk Edition messed up. On that. But very fortunate, I gave it back and I got Cyberpunk for free. But they refunded me because they couldn't replace it. But that console was amazing. But even though you have a surge protector, there's only so much it can take. Because listen, a thunder strike or it's a different level compared to a surge protector, a power supply. It only can take so much. It's not guaranteed, but it happens. But I mean, but anyway, Boom. It's time to close it. Let's close it out. And I've got a special outro for some of the guys here. Boom, I'm not sure. Hold on. I hate it when it does that. I'm not sure if you send this, Boom, but this is for you, Boom. Just to remember. Let me stop it once. I've got a super chat, sorry. Rock with the 5. Most of us PC guys are not there for power or feature. We are there for the freedom which 100% no consoles can replicate that. I'm a bot at heart, but it's just facts. Yeah, them are facts.
It's true.
I agree with you. But let's close it, guys. Take care, be safe. We out.
Ass off the street, so funky off. See, grab your Glocks when you see Sean 787. Call the cops when you see Sean 787. Who shot me? But you punks didn't finish. Now you about to feel the wrath of a menace. Do I hit 'em up? TTS, West Side. Shout out to a real Xbox fan. You know the realest is. You know who the realest is. Oh, you know who the realest is. You know who the realest is. Get you punks didn't finish. Now you about to feel the wrath of a menace. Dude, I hit 'em up.